My sister's voice came through the baby monitor. She died 19 years ago. I never imagined my life could fracture so abruptly. The day I heard my sister's voice through the baby monitor, everything changed. My name is Clara, I'm 64 and I've lived in this quiet town all my life. I thought I knew my family, until that night. It had been an ordinary evening. Rain pattered against the windows, casting moving shadows across the nursery. I had just settled my grandson, tucked him under the soft blanket and switched on the baby monitor. The hum of static was familiar, comforting. Then came the voice. Clear, unmistakable and chilling. Clara, wake up. My heart stopped. My sister, Eleanor, had died 19 years ago. I had held her memory close, mourning her loss quietly, never expecting her presence again in this way. My breath caught and I gripped the monitor, feeling my pulse race. The familiar nursery toys, the soft lull of the rain, and the quiet of my home suddenly felt alien and threatening. Was it a dream, a hallucination, or something impossible? Could it truly be her voice, or was my mind playing tricks after years of grief? The first oddities appeared gradually. I noticed toys slightly out of place, the rocking chair gently swaying though I hadn't touched it. I chalked it up to my imagination, until the whispering began. It was faint at first, almost drowned out by the static. Then I heard it clearly, words spoken in Eleanor's voice. Clara, watch closely. I froze, gripping the baby monitor as my pulse thundered. My mind raced. How could this be possible? The nursery was empty, the windows closed, and yet her voice came from the small device in my hands. Over the next few days, the occurrences increased. Notes I had never seen appeared on the nursery desk. Photographs shifted subtly, and the baby monitor repeatedly emitted fragments of Eleanor's voice. Each instance left me questioning reality itself. I tried to rationalize. Perhaps a prank, a glitch, or someone in the family trying to unsettle me. But the voice was unmistakable. The tone, the cadence, the inflections, all Eleanor. I couldn't explain it logically. Was this a supernatural visitation, or was someone orchestrating an elaborate deception? Determined to understand, I began investigating. Secret calls went unanswered, doors that should have been locked were ajar, and small hidden messages started surfacing. A folded note, a photograph tucked behind a bookshelf, a recording left on an old cassette tape. Each clue hinted at the past, long-forgotten secrets, arguments hidden from my memory, and family disputes I thought had been resolved. Someone had carefully curated these fragments, using the nursery and the baby monitor to draw me in. But the strangest part was how personal it felt. It was as if Eleanor herself were speaking from beyond the grave, guiding me toward truths long buried. Or had someone else learned intimate details of our lives and was manipulating me? The ambiguity gnawed at me. Fear and grief mingled with curiosity. Every sound from the monitor made me flinch. Every note made my chest tighten. I felt the weight of 19 years of unanswered questions pressing down, and the line between memory, reality, and illusion blurred. Who was behind these messages, and what had they hoped to reveal after all these years? I confronted my nephew, the only family member with access to the nursery at odd hours. The hallway was dim, shadows stretching across the walls as tension thickened the air. "Why are you doing this?" I demanded, voice trembling. "What is going on with Eleanor? Why now?" He avoided my gaze, fidgeting nervously. "Clara, you need to hear the truth," he whispered. "I never meant to frighten you, but there are things you don't know. Things about Eleanor, things that have been hidden for years." My heart raced. Every word cut deeper than any physical wound. The baby monitor's static hummed softly in the background, almost as if echoing the weight of secrets yet to be spoken. "You can't just bring her back like this," I choked out. "She's gone. She's been gone for 19 years. His eyes finally met mine. Not entirely gone, he murmured. Someone wanted you to know something. He left a message for you, for all of us. You just weren't meant to hear it until now. The revelation spun my mind. My sister's voice, the nursery, the notes, and the photographs. It had all been a carefully orchestrated plan to reveal hidden truths. Could this orchestrated message truly explain everything, or was there more to the mystery? The truth unfolded slowly. Eleanor had not returned from the dead, nor had her spirit spoken through the monitor. Instead, she had anticipated the secrecy surrounding her death and left a coded message recorded decades earlier for me to discover under specific circumstances. Her death had been surrounded by family tensions, miscommunications, and a decision to withhold certain information for protection. The baby monitor and the hidden notes were all placed by my nephew, who had uncovered the recordings and carefully staged each moment to ensure I understood the truth. The voice from the monitor was her own, preserved on magnetic tape, intended to guide me through a puzzle of grief, memories, and family secrecy. Betrayals, misunderstandings, and unspoken truths came to light, reframing the past 19 years entirely. What I had perceived as haunting was actually Eleanor's foresight. A carefully constructed message to teach me about trust, reconciliation, and the fragility of family bonds. Could understanding finally bring closure, or would the past continue to haunt us? I sat in the nursery, the baby monitor silent at last. Memories flooded me, Eleanor's laughter echoing through the halls, her small hand in mine, the heartbreak of losing her at just 23. Tears rolled down my cheeks as grief mingled with relief. I had been haunted by her absence for nearly 2 decades, and yet here she was, not in life, but through a message she had left behind. Guilt gnawed at me. Had I failed her? Had I missed signs of her distress, of her secret struggles? The years of mourning intertwined with the pain of revelation, creating a storm of complex emotions I could hardly process. The rain tapped against the window like a solemn hymn. I understood now that grief was not a finite experience, but a layered journey, with surprises even after decades of acceptance. Could this newfound knowledge finally allow healing to take root? Time gradually softened the sharp edges of grief and mystery. Conversations with my nephew and revisiting the recordings allowed me to reconcile with the past. I began to understand Eleanor not just as the sister I lost, but as a complex person who had left a deliberate legacy for us to uncover. The nursery, once a place of fear and uncertainty, became a space of remembrance. Each toy, each photograph, and every note was a testament to her life and her desire to communicate even after death. Though the revelation could never replace her presence, it brought clarity and a fragile peace. I learned that some truths, no matter how delayed, can heal old wounds and teach us the value of patience, understanding, and trust. Be careful who you trust, even the ones closest to your heart.